Hey guys, I'm sorry I've been MIA for the past 4 or 5 months, but that's why I'm going to tell you guys a banger ass story. It's going to be the story about the first time I ran from the cops, and you know what, fucking intro, we're jumping right into this fucking story. So I want to say this story probably takes place around like maybe a year ago at this point, maybe a little bit less, like around 10 months or so. You know, I'm at home, it's summertime, I think it was even a Friday, so I'm looking for something to do that night because I wasn't trying to stay home and play Call of Duty for another fucking night. So I'm trying to find somewhere to go. All of a sudden, I see on Snapchat, somebody post a picture like trying to promote a party that said it's supposed to be a quote-unquote Project X kind of party. And I was like, what kind of dumbass wants to promote a big-ass party like this on their Snapchat? It's gonna get busted. So I didn't think much of it. I wasn't even interested in that party. And so there I was in my room, all disappointed, fucking playing Call of Duty because I had nothing else to do. And then all of a sudden, you guys remember Randy from one of my first videos ever? Well, guess what? Randy's the motherfucking G, and he makes a comeback in this video. Randy FaceTimes me and asked me what I'm doing tonight, and I said, of course, playing some fucking Call of Duty. What else am I gonna do? Fucking hick-ass town has nothing going on. You know, so we get to talking, and we're trying to figure out what to do, and we both remember seeing that same Snapchat story. And you know what? We go ahead and try our fucking luck, and we go ahead and grab 2 of our boys. We're gonna call them Miles and Ernie. And real quick, I forgot to mention this earlier, but this fucking party that's going on, it happens to be like 2 towns over from us, so that was like a good 30-45 minute drive, and I really didn't want to drive over there. And guess who ended up fucking driving? Take a fucking wild guess. Yep, no one other than your boy, BeanBoy. God, that sounds fucking weird. Alright, back to the story. So after we pick up our boys, we're driving over there and, you know, nothing's out of the ordinary. So as we're getting closer to the house, we start realizing that this is like Billy fuck all nowhere. There's a bunch of fucking big ass trees all over the place. And, you know, we start feeling good about this because what kind of fucking cops want to come out to Billy fuck all nowhere to arrest a bunch of teenagers? When we finally got to the house, it was kind of weird because there's like no cars parked out in front of the house, which is I guess a good thing, and you couldn't really hear any music or anything. It honestly looked like there was no party going on. We were kind of skeptical if it was even the right house, but luckily there's another group of kids, or not kids, I don't know why the fuck I always say that, another group of people trying to get in. And so we asked them to make sure it was the right house, and it turned out to be the right house. When we finally got in there, the vibes were just not it. I'm just gonna say that. Look, you can smoke cigarettes all you want. You do you, boo. I just don't smoke cigarettes if I'm sober. Alright? But if I'm drunk, I'm not gonna lie. I'll fucking smoke a dart or 2, alright? Or might chain smoke a whole fucking pack, who knows? But not smoking that shit if I'm sober. And 2, I'm not smoking that shit inside. That shit smells so bad. If you want to smoke a cig, just smoke it outside. And you know, we make our way inside. We go upstairs only to find a fuck ton of people. And everyone, not everyone, but basically like 90% of people there had a Bud Light in one hand and a cigarette in another. I shit you not. They're listening to music on like a fucking $5 speaker. Basically, as soon as we got there, we were already disappointed. I don't know why the fuck we were actually expecting to get something like a Project X party or whatever. Anyways, bullshit aside, we're trying to make the best time out of it. You know, we clear off a table, set up a fucking pong table because these bozos didn't have a table going on already. You know, and after playing a game or 2, we were ready to leave. We wanted to get the fuck out of there, so we're downstairs getting ready to leave. And I don't really remember exactly what happened. I think a kid fuck, I gotta stop saying kid. A dude ran in. He came into the house and he said cops or some shit or whatever, and that's when we knew we had to get the fuck out of there. So we make our way out the house and we go over to the neighbor's lawn because there was this big ass tree, and so we're just hiding behind the big ass tree to see what the cops are doing. And there's like 2 fucking squad cars out in front of the house. There's like 3 or 4 police officers with like those big ass flashlights walking around in the backyard of the house at the party. And so, you know, we're just waiting it out. Hopefully they don't see us and we can make a run for it and get the fuck out of there. Or so we thought. And before we knew it, we see a fucking bright ass flashlight pointing right at us, and we knew that was our cue to become the Usain Bolt and run that fucking 40-yard dash. And so we're off, we're full out sprinting in pitch black. And all of a sudden, I get fucking stuck on like a thorn bush. And then fucking Randy, since he's running in the dark too, he runs right behind me and piles on top of me. I look behind me and I see a fucking flashlight getting closer and closer. So I push right through that thorn bush. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of a bitch. So in any other scenario, I would have just laid in that fucking thorn bush. But I didn't want to get caught by these fucking pigs. At this point, Randy and I are running together, and we finally found a semi-safe location to like lay low, which was basically in some guy's fucking driveway under this big ass tree he had. And so we're just waiting there, we're trying to get in contact with Miles and Ernie. And then like 5 minutes later, Ernie finally pulls up. He still has his fucking beer in one hand and a hand. I don't think it was a handle. I think it was like a 750, a Saveca or something like that. And he has some random bitch with him. So we went ahead and laid down on the ground just so it'd be harder for the cops to see us, because there's like, I think it was like 2 or 3 more cop cars that started driving around trying to find anyone else who was like sneaking around. And at this point, we're also fucking stranded because we can't really go back to my car because that's parked out in front of that fucking house where there's 2 or 3 squad cars at. But luckily for us, we had a godsend. One of our close buddies, Troy, was actually coming to the party, but he happened to be a good bit late, and for that reason, he ended up basically saving us. We went ahead and called him. We told him not to come to the party because there was fucking cops there already, but we asked him if he could pick us up, and he said sure. He was like maybe 10 minutes away, and so we're waiting there, and that random ass girl, we're gonna call her fucking Felicia. Felicia won't shut her ass up. She keeps crying and shit, talking about how she doesn't want to get caught by the cops because she's like on probation or some shit. And then Troy finally pulls up in his truck, and so he parks his truck a little bit further up the street from where we're at. So we made a count of 3, and at the count of 3 we all sprinted? So, oh, I'm a dumbass. We all sprinted out to his truck to make sure we get there as fast as possible without being seen. And as we're all sprinting there, I see Felicia out of the corner of my eye just faceplant. I mean, this girl just got a mouthful of dirt. And after she gets up, we all get into the truck, and Troy goes and drives to this local pizza shop that was really close by. And at this point, I don't know what the fuck to do because my car is still parked out in front of there. There's still cop cars out there. So we drop Felicia off at the pizza shop, and then Troy goes and drives me back home and drops me off there. And at this point, I'm kind of freaking out because I'm at home. My car's 2 towns over in front of a house that just got busted for a party. And so I went ahead and woke up my older sister, and I felt so bad because she had to wake up at like 3 a.m. for work, and at this point it was like 1 a.m. I think, maybe 2. And she goes and drives me back all the way over there so I can pick up my car because at this point I'm completely sobered up. And in the process, I looked down at my hands, and if you guys recall to like 2 minutes ago, I said that I ran through that thorn bush. Yeah, my hands were fucking cut up. I looked emo as a motherfucker. We finally get back to the party house, or ex-party house, I guess. And sure enough, there's my car, and there was only like 2 squad cars there left. And I just want to say this real quick. There was this hot-ass police officer. She was like 6'2". I'm usually not into tall girls, but goddamn, she was intimidating as fuck. Alright, back to the story. And so, you know, the officers asked us what we're doing there, and I went ahead and explained to them that I was at the party, and I was supposed to be the DD, but I ended up getting spooked by the cops, so I ran with everyone else because I didn't know what to do. And they were surprisingly pretty cool about it. They told me that they really couldn't do anything about my car because they had already called the towing company, so I wouldn't have to actually deal with the cops. I would have to deal with the towing company, and all I had to do with the towing company was pay a bill. I think it was like $100 or something, so it wasn't that bad. All things considered, I think I got off pretty lucky, except for the fact that I had to pay those $100, and when I got back home, my parents were awake because the fucking cops called the house because my car's actually registered to my dad's name, so they thought my fucking 50-year-old dad was at a party with a bunch of teenagers. Like, what? My dad's not a fucking weirdo. That was me. But my parents weren't too pissed. They were just happy that I was safe. The next day, actually, I want to give a huge shout out to Randy. He actually helped me out. He gave me like I think he gave me like $20 to help cover the towing fee. But yeah, that's it for the video today. If you guys made it to the end, I just want to ask you to smack the like button. If you guys like this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button too, because I'm always putting out new continent. What a dumbass. Oh, the end of voice crack. Alright, this is the end of the video. Peace.